Hey guys, day 11 on the Justice Revolution. Today we're looking at child slavery and human trafficking and exploitation specifically, and kind of revisiting this idea that today there is still slavery going on. Even though slavery was supposed to end with William Wilberforce in England, but it didn't, and then it came over here. Well, it was here in America, and it was supposed to end with the Emancipation Proclamation. It's still going on even to this day here in the United States, not just in other countries, but here in the United States as well. And there are sex slaves, and there are children working in sweatshops, and just children working in places where they shouldn't be working. And just people being bought and sold on the market like a cheap good. And then when people are done using them and abusing them, they're just discarded and cast to the side, just with all the other piles of rubbish and trash. But that's not what we should do to humans. Humans deserve much, much more than that. And to take action with this, we were asked to make a profile picture or a poster to put on a social media website of us kind of holding up a sign saying, "You look, child slavery still exists," or "Real men don't buy girls," or listing a website that helps fight this injustice, such as the International Justice Mission or ExodusCry.org. And so that's why my Facebook profile picture is me contrasted with a child soldier from Uganda. So I've gone off the deep end, but this is just to help raise awareness that this is still taking place today, and we need to be on our knees in prayer about it, at the very least, if not actually move to action and do something about it and actually take some physical action, either donating our money, donating our time, but at the very least, giving up our prayers, asking that God would remove the weight and the burden from these children that are being exploited in this way, but at the same time bring down justice on those that deserve it, the men and women who are choosing to run these operations. And when you think about human trafficking, you have to think about the story of Joseph from the Bible. And when he just went through everything in the world, it seems like he was sold into slavery by his brothers after being thrown into a well. His brothers hated him that much. After being sold into slavery, he ended up working for Potiphar, and then Potiphar's wife is like, "Hey, you should sleep with me." He's like, "No, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. That's against my morals." So she lies about him and has him thrown in jail. So he goes to jail, and he's in there, and then the two guys come to him and ask him to interpret their dreams, and he does so for them. And the wine bearer says, "Oh, wow, thank you so much for interpreting my dream." And he goes before the Pharaoh, and Joseph says, "Hey, remember me? Tell him about me. Help me out." And he doesn't. So he stays in jail because he didn't do anything, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong, but he still gets to stay in jail even after he helped the guy. And eventually, he ends up out of jail. And the end of the story is he gets put second in command, and he's put in charge of helping take care of providing for the famine that's to come, and just storing up food and provisions. And in the end, he ends up saving the people of Egypt and also his own family. But he went through a lot. He suffered some of this human trafficking, being bought and sold just like a priced good, and being treated just like an object rather than a human. Yet his attitude through the whole thing was one that he was always looking to God. And when he met face to face with his brothers again, the ones who got him started into the whole mess, he was full of forgiveness. And he gladly forgave them for the injustice that they committed to him, as he tells them, "What you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." So I don't understand why God allows child slavery to happen, but I know that he has a plan, and that his plan is far exceeding anything that I could think of.